Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here to give you your readings for this week for the March the 5th through March the 11th. And there's a lot going on astrologically, so I wanted to do a little report first. These readings are for your sun, moon and rising, so if you want to check out the other videos, there'll be links in the show more section below. Now, if you're checking out a couple of them, I will put the time that you can skip this report so you don't have to look at it every single time you check the video, a different video. So anyway, it's very exciting this week, right? Because we have two planets moving into Aries. Now, they're moving from Pisces into Aries. Now, Pisces is the last zodiac sign, and it has a little bit of everyone in it, every other sign in it. And it's like winter, right? And when we move into Aries, Aries is the beginning of the astrological year. It's like spring has finally sprung. Now, even though the sun is still in Pisces, we're going to have Mercury, the planet of thought, intellect, communication, is going to move into Aries on Tuesday, I believe it is, Tuesday the 6th, 5th or 6th, around there. And Venus is going to join Mercury. And Venus is the planet of love, finances. So we're going to feel kind of spring-like, like a new beginning. Before it actually happens, we're going to have that feeling of new beginnings. It's going to be a lovely feeling, and it's interesting because Venus has been very happy in Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual and sensual and loving, and it's, you know, Venus can spread its wings. And then when Venus moves into Aries, it's very kind of in the moment, you know, passionate, yes, maybe one night stands, yes, maybe not, you know, long-term relationships, but definitely fun and passionate and interesting. So she was soft and sensuous in Pisces, and she's going to be coquettish in Aries, so it'll be an interesting feelings, and we're definitely going to feel that. Now, on the 8th, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, philosophy, deep thoughts and abundance, and also on the shadow side of that, overindulgence and overdoing things. So that's moving retrograde on the 8th. Now, what's interesting about, it's a very slow moving planet, so it's almost subtle. We will feel a change, but we kind of won't be able to put our finger on it. But it's definitely important to think about what we're expanding, where we're going. This is kind of, because Jupiter's about kind of the whole, the planet globally. And Jupiter is in Scorpio right now. So it's interesting, whenever a planet goes retrograde, the zodiac sign that it's in is kind of amplified. So Scorpio is about sexuality, it's about secrets, it's about deep things. And Jupiter, when that goes back, we may have a new resurgence globally about all these secrets coming out. You know, it's also about empowerment, so we might have more like Me Too movement. So we might see a lot of, you know, power, the abuse of power. So we might see some secrets coming up again, you know. And so that's something that we can look out for. But for ourselves, we need to look inside, and we need to, you know, think about how, what secrets are we keeping? Well, how can we take back our power? You know, what is going on with us that we need to kind of you know, look at those things. So always when a planet goes retrograde, it's really good to look at where we stand with those qualities. On the 11th, Mercury is going into a challenging aspect to Saturn. Mercury is the planet of thought and communication, intellect, and Saturn is the planet of restriction, boundaries, and sometimes they say accidents, right? This can be kind of a mentally frustrating, challenging time. So if we're aware of that, we might feel it a couple of days before, we might feel it a couple of days afterwards. We can observe it and say, ah, that's where that's coming from, and not react to it. Now, at the same time, which is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because, you know, my mind is not what it used to be. Yeah, we have Mars at the very same time, we have Mars moving into a positive aspect. Mars in Sagittarius actually is moving into a positive aspect to Uranus. So this can mean sudden things are going to move forward, right? Because it's very fiery. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign, so we're going to feel that, you know, things are going to kind of move fast. So I think it's going to kind of offset that frustration mental thing that's going on, because maybe we're frustrated because we can't get everything done because everything's moving so fast. And, you know, Uranus is the planet of sudden happenings, surprises. So I think, and you know, Mars is the planet of action and, you know, moving forward. So things are definitely moving forward fast this week. So I think that might be a good thing. So much is happening astrologically this week. It's kind of exciting energy, a lot of fiery kind of spring energy. That's why I decided to wear a lot of color this week. Anyway, let's go to the cards, shall we? Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your reading for March the 5th through March the 11th. This is a general reading, so if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be in the description box below, the Show More section. So will your Sun, Moon, and Rising. All the other links to the videos will be there. If they're not there straight away, just give it a time. They will be there. Your first card is the High Priestess. When the High Priestess comes in to a reading, she's saying, she's kind of known as the old crone, you know, I always think of, I shouldn't call Morgan the old crone, but you know, that she's like the high priestess. She's got all this knowledge, she has all this wisdom, she knows all these magic spells, she's got all this knowledge. Now, she doesn't give away that information very easily, but when she shows up, she's giving you that information. She's making that information available. Now, in order to get that information, you have to meditate, and you'll get downloads. That's when you'll get this information. It'll just, you know, come to you as ideas or knowledge, or she's shown up in your reading for a reason. Now, clarifying that, you've got to clear your mind, because clarifying that, you've got the Release card. It's a major arcana card, right? This is saying release the past. So maybe someone's hurt you. Well, you know, Scorpio, somebody can hurt you. You're very sensitive and you may not tell them. So this is about releasing the past. It could be releasing the resentment against someone, but it could be releasing the person. It could be time to move on. And, you know, if this person is causing you pain and discomfort all the time, then yes, maybe it's time to let it go and move on. Maybe it's a job that you have. For some of you, I think so. Maybe that's the job. Maybe you need to kind of let that go and move on. So this could be a person, it could be a lover, it could be a friendship. Only you can answer that question. Whatever it is, you're going to know what it is, because it is causing you some distress. And so it is time for you to move on. And the High Priestess has come in. It's good. It's really good to meditate and get the answers. You'll clear your mind and you'll know what to do. Now, the next card we have is the King of Cups. You know, that could be a client too if you're self-employed, releasing that. The next card that comes in is the King of Cups. Now, I see this person in your life as very charming, as very kind of solid and loyal and appreciates you and will listen to you and counsels you. This is a very, you know, it could be a father figure, it could be a boss, it could be a husband, or there is, you know, there is someone coming in your life who is very charming and very emotionally available. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get into a relationship. If you're single, this is a possibility. It's a deep emotional connection with somebody, is what I'm getting. Now, clarifying that, you've got two cards came out. One is the Ten of Spring, which makes me think that you're taking on too much. There's something you've got to release. Maybe you have too many responsibilities at work. Maybe you've got too many responsibilities. This card is coming in to say you need to ask for help. And actually, that wouldn't surprise me because this is the counselor, right? This is someone that you can ask. So maybe some of you, it could be a husband or a partner of some kind. And you need to ask for help. Could be your boss. Only you can answer that, Scorpio. So this is, you have to ask somebody for help because obviously things are a little overwhelming for you. Things are really too much. And listen, you've got, right next to it, you've got the Princess of Winter. This is information coming to you that's helpful, that you really need to hear. But it's not delivered nicely. It's kind of, what do I want to say? It's kind of, it's brutal honesty. So it hurts your feelings, and you want to reject this information. But when this card's coming up, it's saying, look, this information is going to be really helpful to you. You really need to hear it. It's the truth. It is the truth. So you need to listen. You've got to step back, try not to be sensitive. It's difficult, I know, but try to just take it with a pinch of salt. Retreat. Don't sting. Don't kill the messenger. That's what this is about. So yes, there's some definite information coming through to you that's going to be very helpful. Just, it's not going to be tied with pretty bows, Scorpio. So, sometimes it can be a criticism. Constructive criticism is good, but regular criticism, just downright somebody criticizing you is very difficult. But there's a grain of truth in this, perhaps, if they're coming in. And don't take it on as baggage. That's what I'm getting. Don't take this on as baggage. Just listen to it. Take what you will and release the rest. Listen, the High Priestess is coming in and you are going to feel, your gut feeling and your intuition is definitely being enhanced, definitely. And look, here's another, this is the Knight of Cups, and he's coming in. This is fast energy, right? This is like coming in like knight in shining armor. This is good news, right? I feel that you are going to get some information this week. And look, it's all good. Just some of it isn't delivered in a really nice way, but this is. And it's fast moving. So, this is definitely a lot going on this week for you, Scorpio. And look, this is saying you've got to connect to your creativity. When you've just got to focus on being creative. And also, listen, this is the Empress. She's my favorite. She's like creative. She's abundant. She's manifesting. She's giving birth to all these incredible, inspirational ideas. She's just boom, boom, boom. All this information is coming to her, and she's really excited and passionate, and she's, you know, creating all kinds of things. And 3 is expansion, right? So I have a feeling that there is change afoot, but it's a good change. There's something you've got to release, and you've got to release this baggage. I feel that you're kind of overly sensitive this week, and honestly, astrologically, it's kind of understanding. If you know beforehand, then you can be aware of it and kind of separate yourself from it and know, oh, wow, that's the energies that are in here this week, and I can navigate around them. So remember, don't take things personally. Take everything with a grain of salt and just be open to hearing it. Just be open, and don't take it on like a criticism and drag yourself down with it. Be more like a justice card, right? That's impartial, right? Don't take it personally. Listen to this information impartially. Now, if you meditate, you're going to be able to do that because the knowledge of the high priestess is going to come to you, and you're going to easily decipher. You're not going to take it personally because you're going to have that wisdom and that knowledge to take the information and manipulate it and run with it. You know, take that information and run with it. Scorpio, it looks really interesting for you. You definitely have an emotional week. Some of it is great. And some of it may not feel good, but because you know you've got to release some stuff. So because you know it, it'll be easier to navigate through the week. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked or any of this resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up. If it didn't, then, keep it moving. Come back next week. Give me a thumbs up. Please share my video on your social media and any social media platform, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and subscribe if you haven't already. I've also started a Patreon page, so if you really want to show me some love and support me and all this content that I put out there for you guys, please visit my Patreon page. You can patronize me for as little as $2 a week. And listen, if you can't do that, that's totally fine too. Whatever you can, sharing my video, just any little thing would really help me, and I so appreciate it. Comment. I always read every comment and I always respond. So thank you so much for tuning in, Scorpio. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.